Hey everybody, we are about to fry up some squash. So, right out of the garden, our first fruits of the season. I got some powdered buttermilk here because I don't keep buttermilk on hand, but we don't use it that much. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of this and add it to a half a cup of water, and that's going to make me sort of like a buttermilk mixture. And I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up. And then we'll start cutting up our yellow. I'm doing some yellow squash today that we just picked out of the garden yesterday. So here's just a little bit of mixture. We're just going to set that to the side for right now. We're going to get our squash cut up here. Now the way I like to do it is to cut it up in chunks and fry it in little chunks. Deep fry. We're going to deep fry this in some little chunks. So I'm just going to cut it like this. And then I'm just going to chunk these pieces. Just like so. All right. This is a way you can make a lot of squash faster than cutting it into little circles and coating each one of them and frying them like that. So I'm going to put them all in a Ziploc bag here. Just like this. Get you a good sharp knife. Chunk these things up. I washed the squash. Like I said, it's right out of the garden, picked last night. So we're going to put all this into our bag. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my fire on over here. Get my oil starting to get hot in my little pot. I just use a small pot, so I don't have to use that much oil. All right, this is one yellow squash in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of buttermilk. If you can use buttermilk, milk, any kind of liquid. You just somehow gotta get this kind of wet. Just a little bit wet so your stuff is gonna stick to it. Right, so just a little bit. You don't want it soggy or extra milk up in there. Just enough to get it all kind of wet. And then I'm going to take...
Happy Father's Day. Look at that. Well, we'll do a green one too.
Well, first we're going to do the yellow.
Yep.
And then I'll do the green.
Hallelujah.
All right, so what I like to do is go like half and half on the flour. You can use self-rising or all-purpose, doesn't matter. And half on some cornmeal. So I got some White Lily cornmeal and I got some White Lily flour in here. And this happens to be all purpose. So I'm going to take about I'm going to say a third a cup. It's not going to take that much. I'll get a third a cup of that out and a third a cup of my cornmeal. Now, I'm not going to put that much flour, but I'll go ahead and put my flour in first. But I'm not putting the whole thing. I'm just going to, you just want to sprinkle some of that, about maybe half of that. Start getting that around. And then I'm going to put about that much of the cornmeal. And let's just see how much that's going to coat it off. This is just an easier way to get the stuff coated. And then we can just pour it into our pan. Looking pretty good there. I'm going to put a little bit of extra cornmeal on it. Get that coated good. I like to do my flour first, then I put my cornmeal on there. All right, now I'm just going to take a scoop of this. When my oil gets hot, I'm going to scoop this down in here and put it right down in my oil. And you can use, this is a spider strainer. You can use this to even get you a big load and then scoop it right down in your hot oil. Or you can drop it in any way you want. But I'm going to do about a scoop at a time, right like that. But I'm going to wait till my oil gets hot. It might be getting hot now. Let's see. Yeah, it's starting to get hot. I think I can add a little bit more to it. All right, we're gonna let that cook. It just takes a couple minutes, y'all, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, I think these are ready to scoop out. Let me just go ahead and bring them right over here and scoop them like this. I'll just bring this right over here, and if you got one of these strainers, it makes life a whole lot easier. Go ahead and you can salt and pepper them once you get them out here like this. All right. I'm gonna put that right there for a minute, and we can put some, well, I don't know where the salt and pepper, oh, it's back here, it's hiding. A little bit of pepper on these things. A little bit of salt. And this is ready to roll, y'all. This is the easiest way to make some fried squash. It's hot. Nothing better than that right there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I cut a green zucchini up, and I'm gonna just continue with this and do the same thing. All right, talk to y'all later.